Hello and welcome back to another Python video. In this video we're going to be making a Hangman game. So this is going to be a bit challenging, probably one of the most challenging programs I've made on this channel, but bear with me, we should get through this together. So we're going to start with calling our function, or defining our function, and we need to import the random module, and we need a couple variables. So first we're going to need words, and this one is going to be a list of words. So let me type that out real quick. Then we're going to need a variable that says word to guess. So we need a word to guess from these list of words. And to do that, we need to pick a random word, and this is where the random module comes in, random.choice, and we're going to pass in our words list. And then we need another variable to keep track of the words we guessed. So guessed words, or sorry, letters. So this is going to be an empty list for now. And then we need an attempts variable. So attempts equals to 6, because in Hangman there are 6 attempts that you have. And then we need a word display variable to keep track of the words and then display them. So word display, and then we're gonna have a list, and within that list we're gonna have an empty string for now, and it's gonna be times length word to guess. So this is gonna make more sense in the future, but just bear with me for now. So we're gonna print welcome to Hangman. Great. Now we need a while loop because it's a game, and usually in games you have a while loop for it to stay working until something happens that makes it stop working. So right now we have a while loop that's going to keep running as long as our attempts are greater than 0, because if they're greater than 0, that means we at least have one more attempt left. And we want to say and in word display. So as long as the word display is empty. Moving on. So we want to print a couple things. We want to print f. Let me type all these out and then I'll explain it. Okay, so this is to guess or show the current guessed word. This block of code right here is to show the letters that are already guessed, and this right here is to show you how many attempts are left, and this right here is to store the guess of the player. And the dot lower function, as you know, is to make whatever guess you type in, make it all lowercase, just in case we run into any problems with letters being uppercase or lowercase, because Python is case sensitive. So next we want to check the guess. So to check the guess, we need an if statement. So if guess in guessed letters, what do we want to do? We want to print you already guessed that letter. And I'll type the rest of the code and I'll get back to you and explain each part. So let's run it back a little bit. First, we need to import the random module. Then we define the function, and then we have a couple variables. First, it's going to be words, and these are the words that we might have to guess. it's going to be one of these randomly, and then it's going to be the word to guess variable, and that's going to choose a random word from one of these. So we don't know which word it's going to be. That makes it harder for us, even as the person who made this program, because it might be either one of these. Like, even if we type P and it'll start in the beginning, we don't know if it's going to be this one or this one, you know? But that's just a little trick. So, and then we have a list, an empty list of the guessed letters. This is going to be added onto or appended to, which means append basically means you add to the end of the list. So if there's something here, we're going to add something at the end of it, just like that. So moving on, we have 6 attempts, just how it is in Hangman, and then we have the word display. So the word display is going to be, it's going to have an underscore for each of the length of the word to guess. So basically, if it's Hangman, Hangman has what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters, so it's going to be 7 underscores. And then it's going to print welcome to Hangman. So while the attempts are more than 0 and there's an underscore in word display, we want to print these. So first it's going to say, this is basically telling you the state of the game, right? So it's going to say, this is going to be for the guessed word. It shows you like the current state of it. And then this one is going to be the letters that you have guessed already. And this is going to be, of course, as you can tell, the attempts that remain. And then it's going to keep track of, or it's going to take your guess and it's going to make it lowercase just in case you type in capital letters, because Python is case sensitive, as I've mentioned before. And then it's going to check the guess over here. If you already guessed that guess, so if I typed P and I already typed P before, then it's going to say you already guessed that letter. If not, then it is going to tell the player if it's correct, that is. If it's correct, if it's a correct guess, it's going to tell the player that it's correct, and then it's going to replace the underscore with the correct letter, and then it's going to add the guess to the guessed letters, as you can tell right here. Else, so if it's incorrect, it's going to say print incorrect, so it's going to print incorrect, and then it will append the guessed letters list with whatever you just guessed, and then it's going to -1 from your attempts. So if you had 6 attempts, it's going to be 5. Great. Now, so if the underscore is not in word display, that means it's over. So it's going to say, congrats, you guessed the word, and it's going to tell you the word. And if you didn't guess it, then it will tell you you lost, and the word to guess was whatever it is. So let's run it, and we shall see if this works. Let's hope it works. Great. So welcome to Hangman. The word is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters. Okay, so let's say H, because I'm guessing it's Hangman. Okay, so guessed letters, we guessed H. So H is the first letter. We still have 6 attempts because that was right. So let's say A. Great. Now it's going to replace this one and this one with A. Let's say N, G, M. Great. So the guessed letters these are the guessed letters that we guessed. Attempts left 6 because we got 0 wrong. Guess a letter and it's correct. So obviously there are some things that need to be changed within this. So first thing that needs to be changed is the indentation. The indentation here was a bit too like deep in, so we needed to bring it out. Okay, so I had to make a couple minor changes. First of all, I changed this from a list, it was like this before, to a set, because with a set you don't get anything that is like added more than once, so everything is unique in a set, whereas the list, it was showing like whatever it was, like for example A, right, or like M over and over again. So with a set that won't happen. Also with a set, I also used a sorted set so that it's more easy to read. And of course, instead of append, because with a set you add to the set, you don't append. So with a list you append, so I added So I removed the append and added add instead of it. And of course, like I said before, I changed the indentation for these, so it should be working fine now. Let's try it out. So we have the word, welcome to Hangman, guessed letters, attempts, okay, guess a letter, let's say P. Okay, the first letter is P, so I'm guessing it's Python, but let's try to get some incorrect on purpose. So A, you already guessed that. Let's see if you guess it twice, it tells you already guessed that letter, and the attempts do not go down, so that's good. So P, Y, okay, T, H, O, N. So congrats, you guessed the word. So let's try to get it wrong on purpose. So let's say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, you lost. The word was computer. So that's basically it for this Python video. I hope you guys enjoyed or learned something new. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.